subsequent work was called Shloka, and then you saw little bits of the last work called Sharira. It's like a trilogy where this whole idea of femininity is being explored, sexuality, erotica and femininity. So in Raga it is male femininity, in Shloka it was female, and then in Sharira it's a very interesting abstract thing, it just goes into some other realm.
I have a question. We've been actually discussing this issue of reception from yesterday, like we've been talking about reception. Now you're again talking about appearance and reality, like, you know, how it appears to each one of us and what is real. While Chandra herself is actually on a quest, like she herself is not really completing, making a complete statement and saying, okay, this is what I'm saying. She is also in this continuous process of rediscovery, etc. So I'm actually wondering about, like, you know, in her experience and from your looking at her work, like, rather than saying, like, we see through this thing when she says, you know, 2 people came, etc. Like, I don't think she was, what did she actually think about the question of reception? Like, you know, do you have any insight into that, like, from your interaction with her? Because I am kind of, as I told you, I'm deeply enchanted by this woman. And, you know, I've never met her, but, you know, this has been such an enchantment. I've always thought, like, even the way she appears, etc., like, you know, it's always I can't really separate that question of audience when I look at her, you know. So, what is your insight into this?
Yeah, the question of reception is certainly an important question, and whether she was conscious of the audiences she will perform for is eventually a question probably at some point she should answer. In fact, she's written about it. So when I say she should answer, probably we should take excerpts from some of the things she said about it. But as far as I can say, she wasn't ever creating anything for an abstract audience. Because, like I said, she traveled to many countries, to many cities in India. She performed in lots of places, lots of different kind of venues. There were festivals, there were colleges, there were all sorts of venues. But her audience was always that audience who saw in that thing the space where the rehearsal is going on. And that is the stage space in Chennai where she worked, which we specially built for her to work on. And about 200 people can comfortably come and sit there. Not more than that, about 200. It's a very intimate space. Whatever is performed is at eye level. So as you sit on the floor, you can see that there's a certain intimacy in the book. And every time she made a work which she thought was kind of ready to be shown, she would invite a group of about 150 to 200 people from Chennai who were known, who were, you know, like, let's say, a community of artists, visual artists, musicians, dancers, theatre people, filmmakers. And this constituted her audience. And if that audience had questions, like it would be like a group like this, and after the performance there would be a question-answer session, and she and the artist would stay on stage for as long as was necessary, sometimes it would go for 2 hours of discussion. And whatever feedback came during those sessions was what she received. And for her, that was the audience. After that, it was what's called the performance circuit. You're out there performing in the world, and that reception is it's contingent upon lots of conditions. It's contingent upon, like, you cannot see a film like this with this kind of light. You cannot see a Chandralekha performance without all the other things that need to go with it, except in her own space. In her own space, the rehearsal works as a performance. You will not feel it out of place at all. But if I bring it in, put it on this stage, there will be some problems, unless the right conditions are created. So that gets into a performance context. In the performance context, the artist obviously doesn't think about the audience in front. The artist only thinks about how to refine the performance in the given situation, with what is available, the audio, the lighting system, the kind of seating that happens, the timings, for example, certain theatres abroad, the performance will begin only at 8:30 or 9 at night. Theatres in India, performance will begin at 6 or 6:30 in the evening. So these kind of differences also make a big difference to the way you receive the work. But she was very open to any kind of critique from that intimate audience that she thought was her community. And within that, that whole idea of reception worked, because that's what she was engaging in. But larger audiences, she wasn't really looking at that at all.
I am also looking at you as a curator. So when, because you said this is not the right way, like as an introductory remark, you said, we need to be more serious about this. We need to have more intensity when you're looking at works like this. So